Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the match preview. Arsenal versus Everton in a game that means nothing to us. Thankfully, for a bit of time against Crystal Palace, I was looking at it thinking,
oh God,
right, how do we beat these? It still means something to Arsenal at the moment. Obviously, they'll be hoping Spurs slip up at Norwich, but I can't see that happening, although there's rumours that there's a bit of an issue with Tottenham's squad at the minute. But this could have looked so different, Steve, couldn't it, if Everton wouldn't have come back to beat Palace?
Definitely.
This game.
Yeah, it's obviously with Arsenal as well. It's never really been a happy hunting ground, has it, in the past as well? Oh. I think we, as fans as well, if we were going into the Arsenal game, I think we'd be having to rely on other teams if we were playing for something. But thankfully, Dominic Calvert-Lewin saved us last night, which was brilliant. But yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for Lampard to try a few players out on Sunday now, where we would have had to battle through Sunday. But yeah,
is that what you'd do? Because obviously going into this game, you know, Delhi still hasn't started the game for us, and yet he was instrumental in the comeback against Palace the other night. I'm thinking about it. I mean, I don't expect like El Ghazi to come in for him. Nicole, he wasn't even on the bench, was he? But there's people maybe like Donny van der Beek again, although you might argue.
I don't see the point really.
I was going to say you might argue what's the point now with him going back to United.
Very similar with El Ghazi. We're not going to sign.
No, so what's the point? But then what about someone like Reece Welsh?
Yeah.
Who has been on the bench the last couple? Isaac Price, who again has been in the squad. Is there an argument for maybe taking Lewis Dobbin down as well and having him on the bench? Because you look at like Tom Davies, he's been injured for so long, and you wonder whether it'd be good to just give him some minutes before the end of the season. And I know he's not going to want to make 10 changes and all that, I accept that. But some players obviously will be playing.
I don't think we'll see like Seamus. I think John Joe will come in and play, because potentially his last game for Everton as well. I think
interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised because I think we've asked a lot of Seamus Coleman in the season.
We have, yeah.
And I think yesterday he gave as much as he could. I think he deserves maybe a break.
He probably does, yeah. Would you have him on the bench though, obviously?
Yeah, on the bench, but I wouldn't be surprised to see John Joe maybe play Sunday.
Yeah,
just because potentially his last game, if the club, he hasn't, in my opinion, he probably doesn't deserve a new contract. And he's been at the club all his life, so the club might, Lampard, he's done his best for Lampard as well.
He's done all right at times.
Since he's come in as well, so Lampard might do that as a thank you, maybe. A thank you to him. But I think you'll see I think maybe 5 or 6 changes I could see for Sunday. I think there's a lot of players who mentally maybe are just completely knackered now. Like you said, I'd expect to see Dele Alli. I'd like to see Reece Welsh get a chance at centre-back as well. I think it'd be really good for him.
But they have to play in a 3, don't you think?
Yeah, probably.
Rather than having just a foot. So do you think we'll stick with that 3-5-2 or 3-4-3?
Yeah, or unless Lampard maybe sees as an opportunity to try and play the way he wants to go into next season of playing, and play Reece Welsh with, I don't know, like a Michael Keane or even a Mason Holgate next to him. But I think you'll see Tom Davies get some minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays maybe 60 minutes, gets 60 minutes out of him on Sunday, and then goes into the pre-season having a game.
I've had a game.
Yeah, so I think there's a few options for him. It really depends how much. Like, I suppose from Everton financially point of view, there's still a chance of them finishing above Southampton.
Yeah, which is 2 million
which
quid.
Which is money. So it depends, I suppose, how Lampard looks at the game. Will he see it as a chance to give the players who he's relied on over the last couple of weeks a rest, to say go into just sit on the bench for a game, or will he see it as an opportunity to give some of the young lads a chance maybe as well? So I suppose from Lampard's point of view, it's how he can bring that. I suppose it'll be hard, I imagine, for those players who played last night to go into Sunday's game and give it as much as they did second half. Yeah. That would be my worry.
And that's the thing though, isn't it? Because if you had Isaac Price in there or a Reece Welsh in there and maybe a Tom Davies, and they're going to give it. Certainly the younger lads are going to give everything.
Energy,
the energy and the enthusiasm of playing at the Emirates, 60,000, great experience. You know, it's one of them, isn't it? Because we are, you know, Alan, I don't think he'll be on the bench. He needs a little you know, he's got an injury. He's just been there just in case we've needed him.
I think it'd be an opportunity maybe, if I don't know if they will look at this, but taking a 16-year-old down with them and breaking Thierry Small's
Imagine.
last game of the season. Just if there's anyone in the under 18s,
just grab someone.
Yeah, just put him on.
Throw him on in and
exactly,
the 93rd minute and go, you're now one who's got a bit of potential.
Yeah,
like,
obviously, not just for the
sake.
But do you know what I mean? It'd be, I think you will see. I would like to see at least one of the youngsters start. Anyway, like a Reece Welsh or Isaac Price. I think they've been around the squad for a while now as well, haven't they? I know. Frank seems to be an impressive Price as well, being a midfielder as well.
You give them a go. It's something that obviously Arsenal have done really well with, like Smith. I know he's had time out on loan as well, but Arsenal over the years have had that thing of, I mean, Alex Iwobi, I remember him scoring at Goodison, was his first goal, wasn't it? And Arsenal have done that brilliantly over the years, haven't they? Given promising youngsters, you know, some game time, normally against Everton, and when the rest of the team's really good. So, I mean, what have you made of Arsenal this year? Because it looks like they may fall just short. Obviously, Mikel Arteta's been there for 3 years now, isn't it? It's
3 years,
3 seasons or 2.5, whatever it is. And it's, if you listen to different people, you get different viewpoints. I don't know, not obvious, but you know, of how well he's done or how I've seen something yesterday that says he's a failure. He's underperformed. He's done this. He spent a lot of money. Yeah. But they've done. I mean, they've been right in the hunt until the second to last game of the season. They've just had 2 spells in the last 10 weeks that have blown it for them, haven't they? They had them 3 defeats on the run. And then a couple of wins and then a couple of defeats on the run again, haven't they? Yeah,
they've had the high turnover as well. They look at their team now, it's completely different to what it was under Emery and the Arsene Wenger time as well. It's kind of had to get rid of an Arsene Wenger team, an Emery team, and get rid of any of the dead, not deadwood, but some of the maybe, like, you know, Aubameyangs who are causing maybe little issues behind
high earners as well,
high earners as well. And
Ozil and people like
people
that.
need to remember, they've got a lot of young players as well in the team, and young players, that's the thing with young players, keeping that consistency over the whole season. So I don't know what Arsenal's remit was at the start of the season. Was it to finish in the top 4? I don't know, after finishing 8th last season. So I don't know, I think it's been a hit and miss season for them. I think the only issue for Arsenal is that they've been around the top 4 for so long, and now it's come to the end of the season and they're going to drop out potentially. I think that's where the failure side maybe comes in, and being like weak. You've seen all that stuff, like weak as a team and standard Arsenal, all that type of stuff. But I think if you look at it, the average age of the team they've brought down, they've got rid of a lot of the dead wood. Yes, they've spent a lot of money. But if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be excited by a lot of the young players they've got coming through, like obviously Emile Smith-Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, Eddie Nketiah if he stays. Obviously they might have to, again, they're another team. They're probably going to have to spend again in the summer. But I think with Arsenal, it's. I don't think he's done a bad job at Arsenal. He's won an FA Cup in his time there. I know it was in COVID times and with no fans there, but he's still won an FA Cup, which has probably given him a bit of time there as well. But I think Arsenal's one of those clubs, isn't it, where there's always going to be pressure. They're a big club, Arsenal. They are a massive club. Probably the biggest club in London, really, still, them and Tottenham. But I think if you would have said to any Arsenal fan at the start of the season, you'd finish 5th in the Premier League after the last couple of years they've had, they may have took it, I'd say.
Well, I mean, they're back in Europe, aren't they? And you're right, 8th last year, and to then get 5th this year, that's progression, isn't it? It's
exactly.
You know, to go to the second to last game. You know, don't forget they were going into these 2 games in the box seat. They got beat comfortably at Tottenham, you know, 3-0. When they had the advantage, you know, they were ahead, and then obviously they went up to Newcastle and lost, and Spurs beat Burnley. They had Newcastle away and Everton at home. If they'd have took 6 points, they were top 4. They come short against Newcastle. I expect Spurs to beat Norwich, and therefore Tottenham will get it. But 5th, Europa League, go and win the Europa League. We've just seen Rangers exactly. get to the Europa League final. West Ham got to the semis. You know, you win that, you're in the Champions League. Yeah. You know, sometimes it's actually an easier route than finishing in the top 4, isn't it? So, West Ham will have just proved that.
I think squad for Arsenal wise, I think they've proven a lot of their squad players probably aren't good enough to come in and do a job for them, like your Cedrics, your El Nenis, and when they've lost big players like Partey in the middle of the park, they're replacing it with pretty average players. That's probably that's where they need to get to that level where if they lose someone, they can bring someone just. So I think for them, the problem with Arsenal is they had such a good time under Wenger. They now expect them to be there all the time in the top four, or because Wenger got criticised for finishing fourth every year. They had that. I suppose be careful what you wish for sometimes with managers, but I think they've got to realise that at the top of the Premier League, you've got the top two, and then, like I said, it's take your pick after. Like Chelsea have done the best, I think, to try and throw away third.
Yeah, they did.
They've absolutely dropped.
I mean, Arsenal had a brilliant win there, didn't he, from 4-2?
Yeah, so...
I think for me, when I look at Arsenal, I think it's in the final third. I think Nketiah is good, but they need another one. Been linked, obviously, with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so we'll have to see what happens there. They've also been linked with Gabriel Jesus, who I think would be I mean, if Arsenal were to get those, they'd have to spend probably 100 million quid. But if they were to get those two, then you'd look at them and go, I'll tell you what, Dom through the middle and had Gabriel Jesus just off wide in one of the wide areas, and then you've got maybe Smith Rowe, or you've got Saka on the other side. You've got options. Yeah. Whether they would go for the both, I don't know. If they got one of them out the two, I when I think of like Calvert-Lewin or Arsenal, I always think Jesus would suit them better, just the way they are, because Dom's a bit more of a back to goal striker, and they don't really play that way. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. Like you said, we just mentioned he lost up at Newcastle the other day. Let's have a look at the team that he went with the other night, Arteta. So he's got Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel and Tavares. Tavares left back, and then El Neni and Xhaka. Odegaard in midfield, Saka and Smith Rowe, and Nketiah through the middle.
Again, I just look at the middle of the park and just think that's probably where the struggle.
When you look at, I mean, on the team, then Ned put Sheikh instead of Saka, but that's fine. When you look at the middle of the park, El Neni, Xhaka, he's come out again.
Legs.
Exactly.
There's not enough legs in the middle of the park.
The mobility, you think of and I know we're going back a bit, but you think of like the great Arsenal sides and Vieira and Manu Petit, and Gilbert, even going in with Arteta was good in there. They had Santi Cazorla, real good players in the middle of the park who were good on the ball. Not quite there. I know Partey's missing. They've obviously got some good young players, but he just probably needs one or two more. But I think they've done well this season. Yeah, we've mentioned Saka. Let's have a look at his numbers for the season. 37 appearances, 35 starts, so he's played every game for them. 11 goals, 6 assists, and he's currently averaging 2 shots a game. And he's had a really good season, hasn't he? Stepped up and again had a good, was obviously involved in the Euros at the heartbreak of missing the penalty last summer, big penalty, and then has come back with a tremendous season for Arsenal, hasn't he?
Spot on, mate. I think at the Euros, obviously got a lot of problems after the Euros as well, with the racism stuff as well. And I think for him to handle that at such a young age, and looking at his appearances as well, he's played a lot of games for a 19-year-old.
Every game.
I think last season, and you look at him as well, he's versatile, he's quick, he's direct, he seems quite a clever footballer as well when he's on the ball, knows when to play the right passes and when he's going inside. So he seems very tactically aware as well. So I think he's a great player. I think he's a really, really good player. And
Odegaard's a good player as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he is very calm on the ball. He finds his pockets and stuff like that as well. But I think for Arsenal, I suppose, from their point of view, they've just got to try and get that top four to keep them type of players, because I imagine that Saka's only 19. I imagine these players have got ambitions to play Champions League football. So I think from Arsenal's point of view, they will need to eventually to get there to keep the likes of Saka. And Odegaard, because Odegaard, by all accounts, was very like that coming to Arsenal because he wanted Champions League football. So he's come from Real Madrid, hasn't he? So
I think, like you said before, though, if you're an Arsenal fan, you will be excited because they are the young team moving in the right direction, and if they can add a couple of pieces to the jigsaw, allow Mikel Arteta a bit longer to grow into it. Obviously, at some stage, he'll have to better what he's doing, otherwise they will look for something else. But it's also as well, there's no rush. He's a young coach, isn't there? There's no real rush to get there. We all want things now. And when you look at our club, you think, would it have been better if we'd have been a bit more patient and just let something grow? You don't know. And I imagine for Arsenal, that's what the case would be. And there's the other thing as well, and we found this last summer, obviously when Ancelotti left. You look around and go,
not much about us.
Who's coming in? So if you get rid of Mikel Arteta, who's coming in who's better than Arteta? Now, Brendan Rodgers been linked with that a few times. Is he better than Arteta? Well, he's won trophies and he's done well. So maybe he's a bit better. No, Graham Potter's one who plays a brand of football that I think Arsenal would really like. And that I think they really... he's been linked heavily with Spurs, Potter, but I think he suits Arsenal much better, just the way he plays football. I think Arsenal fans would love it. And if you put maybe his brand of football in with Arsenal and then got someone like Basuma as well, I think they could be a force, but obviously Arteta's going nowhere at the moment.
No.
But it's going to be interesting.
I think a lot of, it's like any club, their recruitment will define where they'll probably
Absolutely.
Recruitment's key for any club, and like we've seen with our club over the last couple of years, we've got it really, really wrong, like terribly wrong. And I think they went through a bit of a stage of poor recruitment and buying incorrectly, and it seems like he's trying now to buy the right type of ages, and obviously looking at, like you said, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, right age, 24, 25, where obviously they were originally buying like your Lacazettes and your Aubameyangs, who were top players, but probably on the wrong side of the career maybe. So I think you're going to see like they're going to lose Lacazette potentially and Nketiah, so they're going to need, especially if they get Europe as well, they're going to need potentially 2 forwards, like you said. So be interesting. So I think it's going to be an interesting summer for a lot of clubs this season, like you said, Arsenal, Man United, Everton, all these clubs. So but I think they've had a decent season, Arsenal, but hopefully we can finish at the season on a high with even getting something there as well. It'd be lovely to end the season with something.
Be positive, but
yeah, I think just my worry with, I suppose, with our thinking of Sunday with our team, and you just don't want to go out from going on a massive high to ending on a bit of a whimper, like by getting them battered. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's absolutely.
Do you know
don't
want to
get
don't want to go to
battered.
pre-season.
But they are a good side.
Yeah, they are.
And we have put a lot in. It'll be our 5th game in 14 days, 12 days or something.
And they got a few injury worries, I think, for Sunday. I think Gabriel's out, the centre-back.
Yeah.
I don't think Ben White's fit either, so they're missing a few centre-backs as well.
Oh, no, listen, if you're never play Sunday, like you just said, and you said it right at the start, £2 million for finishing night up. So. Arsenal have lost the last 3 Premier League games against Everton. It's as many as they'd lost in their previous 26.
Yeah, we always used to get battered, didn't we?
Which is mad. Everton won this fixture last year, and then a 24-game winless away run against Arsenal.
It was a terrible game as well.
Absolutely disgusting, isn't it?
Charleston's fluky one, wasn't it?
Yeah, bad goalkeeping. This is the 3rd time Arsenal and Everton have met on the final day of a Premier League season. The Gunners won the previous 2, 4-3 and 3-1. Yeah. The one in 3-1, but they had 10 men early on, and Lukaku scored a pen for us, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah.
He beat us 3-1, scandalous. Arsenal are unbeaten in their final league games in each of the last 16 seasons.
Bloody hell.
Won 14 and drawn 2. They've won 10 in a row.
Bloody hell.
That's mad, isn't it? Everton have lost their final league game in 4 of the last 5 seasons, conceding at least 3 goals in each defeat.
Thank God we got it done last night.
That's the thing though, isn't it? What about this stat? Arsenal have lost 91% of their Premier League games when conceding the first goal this season. 91. That is shocking.
That's mad.
For a team that's that good.
I know.
Everton have earned 4 points away from their last 2 away league games, double the amount they had in their previous 14 on the road. And final one, Bukayo Saka has played every single Premier League game for Arsenal this season at the age of 20 years, 259 days. He'd be the 2nd youngest player ever to play every league game in a full Premier League campaign after Cesc Fabregas. So it's quite an achievement for him.
he wasn't a bad player.
No, he wasn't too bad.
Right, yeah.
There you go. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Arsenal v Everton. It takes on a much less game of importance now for us, and we're absolutely delighted. Big thanks for Steve for coming in. Make sure you subscribe, and if you want more videos, including daily live videos, join us on Patreon. The link is in the description, and the QR code is on the screen now. See you later.